Today, we're making predictions for Netflix' first mixed martial arts event headlined by Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano. Alright, so tonight Netflix is going to dip their toe in their first MMA event headlined, like I said, by Carano versus Rousey. They've got a Diaz Perry, which should be absolutely bananas. They've got Lin versus Ngannou. This is a pretty good card for their first MMA card. But before we look at the main card, let's take a quick look at some of the preliminary fights tonight. Alright, so we got Nate Diaz's boy Chris Avila taking on Kenneth Jennings in a catchweight bout of 165. Avila, his last couple fights were actually outside of MMA and boxing, but tonight he steps back into the cage against Kenneth Jennings. Also on the card, Alex Pereira's sister is also in a catchweight bout of 130 against Canadian Mason Wong. A lot of hype behind Pereira, who's done great in kickboxing, also a star in karate combat. But tonight, in her MMA Netflix debut, her MMA record is 2-2. She's 500, but tonight she looks to get on track against the Canadian. There you see a couple other great preliminary fights. You got Fazal versus Babian. Alright, those are the prelims, but let's take a look at the main card with the former UFC champion kicking it off. That's right, in the opening contest on the main card, we will see Junior Dos Santos Sagano one-on-one with Robelis Dispana. Alright, so I'm expecting this one to be a banger. Junior Dos Santos, former heavyweight champion. Alright, now we remember when the UFC made their debut on Fox, the headline was Junior Dos Santos challenging Cain Velasquez for the heavyweight championship of the world. And Junior Dos Santos TKO'd him in less than 2 minutes. Does this fight go more than 2 minutes? I'm not sure. A lot of people actually not really giving props to Dos Santos. They think he's actually going to lose this fight. But I 100% disagree. I think in this one, Junior Dos Santos picks up the victory by TKO in the first round and starts the main card off red hot. Alright, and in the next fight, a true phenom is making his American debut, as we see Kenneth Cross going one-on-one with Saladin Pernas. Alright, now if you've never seen Pernas fight, you're in for an absolute treat. He is a 2-division champion in KSW, and he's about to make a splash in North America as he debuts tonight on the Netflix MMA card. This guy his striking is second to none. I mean, if you have a minute, go on YouTube and watch this guy's highlight reel. He is absolutely destroying everybody. His kicks are absolutely lethal. And Kenneth Cross is his first opponent. Can Kenneth Cross pull off an extraordinary upset? Probably not. Let's be real here. But stranger things have happened. Everyone has a puncher's chance, especially when the fight starts on the feet. Unfortunately for Kenneth, Pernas wants to start on the feet, and he wants to stay on the feet, and he will end it on the feet. That's right. Pernas picks up the victory by TKO in round number 1. Now, just before we get to the heavyweight fight, John Bones Jones is going to be in the arena. And, well, I don't know if he's going to be doing it. I believe he's going to be at the desk kind of doing analysis work. But what are the chances we see John Bones Jones, Francis Ngannou go face-to-face, or Francis pulls off the victory? He calls out John Jones, who is in attendance. So I wouldn't be surprised if Francis and John Jones either come face-to-face or Francis calls out John Jones to go one-on-one. Alright, and the next fight features the lineal heavyweight champion of the world, as we see Francis Ngannou one-on-one with Philippe Lins. Alright, so we all know Francis Ngannou never lost the UFC heavyweight championship of the world. He vacated it. John Jones won. He vacated. Tom Aspinall won the title. Well, if you go back, Francis, really, the lineal heavyweight champion of the world, never lost the title, left the UFC, went to PFL, had a fight there, had a couple boxing matches. Now he's returning to MMA on Netflix to go one-on-one with Philippe Lins. Now, unfortunately for Philippe Lins, he is outweighed by about 30, 35 pounds. That is a big discrepancy in weight. Philippe Lins, very good submission, grappling, but can he get Francis down to the mat? Because if he gets in close, Francis lands one of those uppercuts that will make you jump up 5 feet off the mat. That's the power that Francis possesses. Philippe Lins, he's going to try his best. He may get the fight to the ground. If he does, can he pull off a submission? 100%. He could. But in my opinion, he won't, because I don't really think Philippe can get this fight to the ground. And unfortunately, he's in there with one of the biggest punchers in MMA history. Not today's MMA. I'm talking about the history of mixed martial arts. And in this one, Francis Ngannou, the Predator, picks up the victory by TKO. All right, in this next fight, it may not be the co-main event. It may be the co-main event. I'm not really sure. But it is 100% the people's main event. Stockton's own Nathan Diaz goes one-on-one with Platinum Mike Perry. So we basically got the BMF against Mr. Violence. This war should be absolutely bananas. And yes, this is a 5-round fight. These guys could go back and forth. Who knows? Will we see any ground game, or will it strictly be boxing? We know the Diaz chin is just unbelievable. But Platinum has a hell of a chin of his own, and Perry has power in both of his hands. Regardless, Perry, you're about to feel what it feels like to get Stockton slapped. Now, I've kind of gone back and forth on this one. Diaz, the durability, basically he just walks through fire and keeps walking. We remember what happened in that Leon Edwards fight. He just kept moving forward. He rocked Leon Edwards. But in this one, Platinum Mike Perry hits him. Diaz may be a bit more than rocked. He may go to the ground. But regardless, if it does go to the ground and Perry jumps on him, that could be the worst thing for Perry, because Diaz's jiu-jitsu is Hall of Fame level. Now in this one, I've really gone back and forth, but in this one, I actually think this fight will go to decision. This may be the only fight on the main card that goes to decision, but I think this one, we may see a 5-round war, and at the end of the 5 rounds, Nathan Diaz will have his hand raised in victory. And now we've reached it. It's time for the main event of the evening. In a 5-round sanctioned 145-pound match with Rowdy Ronda Rousey versus Conviction Gina Carano. Now, we all know a lot of people have been talking about how long both women have been out of the cage. I think someone said it was like a 27-year combined missing MMA action. Neither one have fought in over pretty much a decade. Yeah, over a decade. But here we go. And probably still the 2 most popular women in MMA. I mean, people can throw out Nunes, but I mean, I don't think so. And all the other women, great women like Jacek, Holly Holm, Misha Tate. But I don't think anyone comes close to the 2 women we are going to see main event tonight in the cage. Gina versus Rowdy Ronda Rousey. And in this one, I don't think it's going to last long. Like I said before, I think Nate versus Perry may be the only fight that goes to decision. But in this one, I don't know, maybe Ronda tries to strike with Gina for a while and makes it competitive, makes it interesting, or 30 seconds into the fight, we see a judo throw, an armbar, Gina taps, and it's over. Just like that, I actually think that's more likely to happen. So that's why I think Ronda Rousey picks up the victory against Gina Carano in the first round by submission. So those are my predictions for tonight's fights. I hope everyone enjoys the fights, and I'll catch you next time.